it's Chris Eads, known as Wootini, here with another one of my Gay Gamer video podcasts. Remember how I used to start, like, the past couple years, I started every episode with a movie review of something that I had just seen with my AMC A-List movie subscription? Well, you know, obviously that's stopped because people are dying and there's a pandemic. So, no movies, no movie theaters. And I was happy to get an email. I got an email from AMC this past week that said, hey, just to let you know, we're going to start reopening movie theaters starting on August 20th. And I'm like, okay, you go ahead and do that. But of course they said you can reactivate your A-List subscription whenever you feel comfortable going back to the theater. And I said, I was expecting that because they couldn't just reactivate everybody because the theaters aren't going to open at the same time everywhere. Like, maybe on August 20th they'll open them in, like, Florida and Texas, Georgia, and whatever, the states that don't seem to care about the health of their citizens. And they're full of people who just ignore the rules anyway. They'll go to the movies. So, there you go. But New York City, I don't think, is going to reopen movie theaters for quite a while yet. But then I read a little further in the email, and they will let you reactivate your A-List membership when you feel comfortable going back to the theater. Except, once December 1st rolls around, they're reactivating everybody's memberships if you haven't already. And I'm like, wait. So as of December 1st, they would start charging me $24 a month for the movies that I don't think I'm going to feel comfortable seeing in December. If there are movies to see in December. Like, they've currently pushed everything's release dates into, like, November and stuff, so I don't know, maybe there would be movies to see, but, like, do I really want to, like, risk my life and risk catching a potentially fatal illness just to see the Black Widow or Wonder Woman? Not so much. So I'm, like, willing to accept that I'll see those on my TV only, no big screen for that. So basically what I decided I needed to do was cancel my A-List membership, like, now. I should have done it before, but I guess I wasn't thinking ahead, because if you think too far ahead, it gets a little depressing because you realize, oh yeah, no, that's not coming back anytime soon. So I think my mind just wouldn't let me think along those lines. But if I cancel now, you can't reactivate it for 6 months. And I'm like, fine. I cancel now. That means that I can't rejoin A-List until, like, I guess February or March. Which is fine, because I don't see myself wanting to go back to a movie theater before then anyway. So if I have to wait 6 months, I'm good with that. And maybe by then things will be more back to normal. Maybe we'll have a vaccine. Maybe we'll be able to go to the movies. I don't mind sitting there with a mask on in a movie theater, but I don't trust that everybody else is going to do that. Because what if they buy popcorn and a soda? They buy food. Because anyone who's going to buy food during a global pandemic to eat while they watch a movie in a theater with a bunch of other people clearly doesn't care, and it's not like they're going to go, oh, boop, boop, and I'll put my mask back on. Okay, I want more popcorn, boop, 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 put my mask back on. No. So, yeah, no, we're not having that. So, it does make me very sad. It made me very sad to cancel it, because it basically, you know, I'm acknowledging the fact that I will not be going back to the movies for quite a long time, and that makes me very sad because I do miss going to the movies. That monthly membership was so good. I was able to see all kinds of movies, the movies I wanted to see, movies I might be interested in seeing. It was great. I would go once or twice a week. It was fantastic, and then I could also see things in IMAX or 3D at no extra charge. It was fantastic. I was getting my $24 a month worth out of this. So I do hope one day be able to rejoin that and get my $24 worth out of it, but who knows when that's going to be. but I still like to think of it as when and not if. But to turn things to a positive note, let's talk about television for a moment. I wanted to congratulate Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on an absolutely terrific series finale. Now, technically, they already had a series finale. The end of Season 5 was technically their series finale, but then they suddenly got... And it was a great ending, too. It was very good. And then they suddenly got picked up for another season, and they're like, wait, what? And then, before that season even premiered, they're like, you get one more, too. So it's like, meh. But they did their best. And this final season was absolutely fantastic. It was like the best season ever. Such a good series. Now, I know probably a bunch of you are out there thinking, what? Are you crazy? That show sucked. I stopped watching. That's the problem. It started off rough. I will freely admit that. First season is not good. Because they had to tie into the reveal in Captain America the Winter Soldier that Hydra had infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. But they couldn't say anything about that until the season finale. So it probably should have been like a mid-season or premiere it, so that they didn't have to tread water for an entire season before getting to that exciting reveal. Because that kind of made things interesting, and then they could do more and actually interact. And that's when things got interesting. And then they were still in the Marvel Universe. They still sort of had to play along with what they were doing in the movies. But they also got to do things like they introduced life model decoys, and they introduced Ghost Rider, and it was really quite cool. And once they finally broke free of the movie continuity and decided we're not going to do the snap, so they didn't even acknowledge it. It was fine, and they did their own adventures, and they introduced Inhumans, and people had powers, and it was really, really good. So I highly recommend it. It picks up in Season 2, and then by Season 3, it's actually legit good. And this ending was just so good. So I do recommend checking it out if you gave up on it. It did get really, really good, so give it a shot. But this is also supposed to be a gay gamer video podcast, so let's talk about gaming. I actually decided to go ahead and do the Ghost of Tsushima mission where you basically are finishing Act 1, where I go to rescue my uncle. And it was actually not that bad. It's broken up into little segments. And I only had trouble with one segment where it's the one-on-one duel, which is where I often have problems. Although I have done a couple where I have been able to do it in one shot, and I haven't died once. That was nice. But this one, I did actually die, and I had to redo it. But then I did it, and it was fine. You gotta learn how they attack, and then work accordingly. And sometimes I can't do that in one try. But I was very impressed. Also, I want to say, I was very impressed by this story mission because it showed me that there is more to this game than just pretty scenery and beautiful graphics. While the gameplay might be a little bit repetitive, the story is good and the characters are actually really fantastic. The main characters are really very interesting, and I find them the storyline is somewhat compelling, and I'm fascinated by these subplot storylines and everything. And there's a moment during this mission at the end of Act 1, no spoilers, even though you've probably already played it, but for those of you who haven't and who are going to, I'll be vague. There's a moment during this mission that I was like, oh no, that's really messed up. Then it kind of backpedals in a cutscene and is like, no, it's okay. And I'm like, it's still not right, but it's better than what I thought happened. But I am very impressed with the way that they're developing these characters, and of course the voice acting and the motion capture acting on the characters is terrific. Of course, after you finish this, your uncle and you ride up into the northern section of Tsushima that you haven't been able to explore yet. And he's like, look at all this new area that you have to explore. And I'm like, yay! And then as soon as you get back into the game, and you have control, and it's not a cutscene anymore, suddenly there's a little quick thing where they're like, oh, by the way, you have all of this section now that you can explore, except down in the southern section that you finished, the Khan is pissed off and he sent some troops down there and they've taken a bunch of farms and you gotta go liberate them. And I'm like, God damn it. And my gaming OCD wouldn't let me. I wanted to explore like new territory and new areas and see new scenery and whatever, but I couldn't, and take more beautiful pictures of unique landmarks and things, but I couldn't do it because my gaming OCD was like, no, you have to finish the southern section of the map first. So I went back down there, and I was going to because there were still character missions down there that I hadn't finished, and the next character missions for those characters were up top, and I'm just like, I want to do them in order, so what the heck is that all about? But like, it's like I need to do like chapters 3 and 4 before I do 5, which has already appeared on the map up there. But I had to go down and liberate all those camps, all those farms, because I was like, no, I am not leaving those red dots on the map. It's not happening. And so then once I finished all of that and I did the character missions, then I was able to properly explore the northern section and start working my way north. And obviously I'm still enjoying it. It's going to take me a very long time to play because I keep needing to explore every nook and cranny and find every little secret and fox den and hot spring and whatever. And that's going to take a while. So come back next episode and I'll probably talk about that some more because I'll have done more. And but I'll find something else to talk about so that it's not all just Ghost of Tsushima, like I did this week where I had other things to talk about. So, see you then!